Euphoria Season 3 has just passed the halfway point, and with the most recent episode showing us the lies that people are willing to make in order to succeed and survive, and the stark similarity between the dark world that Rue is working in and the more glamorous lens that Cassie and Maddie's one is viewed through. This next episode looks like it's all about showing us how these very lies can get you deeper and deeper into trouble, and that the trouble will always find a way to get you. So, with that, I wanted to break down the trailer for the next episode, and I'll also share my theories and predictions on what I think will happen. Here is Euphoria Season 3, Episode 5, Trailer Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So, the trailer for the next episode opened up with Bishop speaking with Rue, and Rue looking extremely tense and uncomfortable at what he was doing, and also what he was saying to her. One thing that I noticed, and I just want to start off by saying, is the score that accompanied it felt very reminiscent of Succession. So, I really liked that. Bishop was saying to Rue how ever since she arrived there, they'd been a cascade of trouble. The thing that I always don't get with these type of characters is they're extremely successful, but they can't put two and two together. Obviously, if things have gone wrong since Rue arrived there, then it would be her. I just don't know how Alamo and Bishop can't see that Rue could be a rat of some kind, unless it's almost like a bluff and they just don't want her to think that they're on to her. He did say in his emotionless state that something about her gave him the heebie-jeebies. Honestly, Bishop's emotionless expressions, but the willingness to do anything for Alamo, even if he doesn't agree with it, like we saw in this specific shot here, shows why he's a man to be feared. As he said this, there was somebody tied up in the corner about to have a selection of tools used against them. It looked like it was the security guard that was on the door that allowed Lori and her crew to get in there. So, he's going to be getting punished for what happened, even though it wasn't directly his fault, and he wasn't in on it. With R seeing that Alamo and Bishop were doing this to somebody that worked for them and wasn't even responsible for any of it, I imagine she'll have thoughts running through her head where she's going to imagine that being her. The next shot that we saw was of Maddie running Cassie's account and putting in the labor side of things. She was kissing cards that are most likely supposed to be from Cassie and packaging up items of clothes that are most probably going to be worn by Cassie. So, it showed that following appearing in Brandon's video, she's going to be gaining followers and making money on the site because the orders look like they're coming in thick and fast. Cassie was simply laying there on the bed, just happy and content with the fact that she'd just hit 50,000 subscribers. So, I think she's going to be replying to people's messages that they're sending her. This was also intercut with Cassie recording a video that she's going to post on her profile where she said, "For my fans, I'll do anything." This is going to explain why she's probably got all of those orders coming in and all of the messages flooding onto her laptop. This also shows us that she values a vanity metric over actual human connection, something that I think we've all been aware of for quite some time now. She's willing to do anything for people that she doesn't know, but judging by what we saw later on in the trailer, it feels like she's going to be fully abandoning Nate when he truly needs her. After this, we saw that Cassie was back at Brandon's home, and he asked her what's stopping her from moving in with him. So, I feel like we're most likely going to see that occurring, and that's where the dark side of Cassie's story is going to begin, as I feel like Brandon might get a hold of her. Cassie said to Maddie, "It's not personal, it's just business." So, I think after everything that Maddie did for Cassie to get her in the position that she's in, maybe Brandon's management or a contact that he has is going to reach out to her, and that's why she's going to be leaving Maddie. Without Maddie's guidance and somewhat protection, and when in a room full of people that don't really value her as a person, she could end up getting taken advantage of. The next part of the trailer then saw Jules in the apartment that she's getting paid to live in, and she was pouring wine with an angry look on her face. Personally, I think she could still be upset over the criticism that she got about the artwork that she painted and Lexi got in trouble for. I think she's going to be spiraling in her mind because ever since giving up on her passion for easy money, she's been bored. As we saw in the previous episode, it was the middle of the day, and she was just sitting in her bed watching shows on her laptop. So, the one time that she got her creative juices flowing again, she was criticized. This is why I think she said to Rue, "You want me? Make me yours." She's bored, and she just wants some attention. This is going to be something that will come back to get her, though, because the guy that's allowing her to stay in the apartment found a piece of clothing and said to Jules, "Bringing guys back to my apartment," and then gave it to her. This makes me think that Jules could be on the cusp of losing it all. And then, when she realizes that she can't just live comfortably for nothing, her decision of leaving art school and not pursuing her passion will be something that she regrets. After this, we saw Nate in his home, which was filled with empty bottles of booze, fast food bags littered everywhere, and he left Cassie a voice message saying, "I'm really counting on you, babe." This showed that right now, his life was falling apart without her, and he might now be turning to her for money, whereas around the time of the wedding, she was turning to him. Remember, she wanted that $50,000 flower display. From an outsider's perspective, he probably feels like her life was going well. And with Cassie being in line and having her photos taken, it made me wonder what kind of agency that she's going to end up being signed up to. With Lex's boss saying to Lexi, "That's your sister." I do wonder what's going to be on the screen in front of them, and if this is going to be another scenario where Lexi suffers due to the actions of the hands of the people that she knows. Accompanied with this, we heard Cassie whispering, "I'm very, very disappointed in you," into what looked like an ear that was stuck onto a wall. And I'm questioning if somebody's on the other side of it, or if she's recording some kind of message for somebody. It's difficult to tell, but it seems like we're going to be getting a deeper insight into the industry Cassie's entered in this next episode, and the dark direction it's going to take. Alongside that, as the tension in the music increased, we saw Nate running up the stairs as Naz's henchman was there. So, it seems like Nate is still going to have Naz on his tail due to what seems like the now $1 million that he owes. And even though Nate is going to be doing his best to hide, he's going to end up being found by him and beaten again. After this, there was then the shot of Rue meeting with the DEA officers and saying, "One more chance." This could be because they might think that she's been compromised, and it's not of any value for them moving forward. But she'll want to keep trying to help because even though she's faced with the prospect of death, the alternative is a minimum of 20 years behind bars if she doesn't cooperate. Then, in the build-up to the ending, we saw Rosalina's character called Magic speaking with Alamo and telling him that he shouldn't be trusting Rue. I do wonder if the constant nagging that she's doing and pestering about not trusting her is going to prove to be costly to her, as he might think that she's trying to take the blame away from herself. Then the final thing that we saw in the trailer was Alamo getting up close and personal with Kid, and he said, "Tell me the truth," as he drew a knife and planted it down. We don't know whether he attacked him, but the lack of control that Alamo has right now, the wounded state that his empire is in, following it being attacked, and with there being a rat amongst everybody there, he's going to be suspicious about everything that's going on. Then, with that final scene, the trailer came to a close. This next episode looks like it's really going to lean into the dark edge that this season has had and begin to lay down the foundations of everything that's going to go wrong for the characters. For example, Rue having people on her tail, Lexi paying for the actions of others, Nate being attacked, Jules losing the apartment, Maddie being abandoned by Cassie, and Cassie entering a dark side of the industry. Honestly, I'm excited to see what's going to happen and where it's going to go. So, there you have it. Euphoria Season 3, Episode 5, Trailer Explained. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.